For centuries, it has been revered as a relic of immeasurable sanctity, a silent witness to history's most pivotal moment. It is a linen cloth, bearing the faint yet haunting image of a crucified man, the Shroud of Turin. Is it a miraculous testament to faith, or a medieval masterpiece of deception? Join us as we unravel the profound mysteries woven into its ancient fibers, exploring its controversial past, its scientific scrutiny, and its enduring power over millions.
The Shroud of Turin, unraveling the ultimate mystery.
The scene opens on the Shroud of Turin, a linen cloth approximately 4.4 meters long and 1.1 meters wide, displayed within a protective, climate-controlled case. The fabric itself is an ancient herringbone weave linen, bearing the subtle marks of centuries, scorch marks from a fire in 1532, water stains from its subsequent dousing, and numerous repairs by the Poor Clare's nuns. Dominating its length is the faint, sepia-toned double image of a nude, crucified man laid out head to head. The image is barely visible, almost ethereal, requiring careful observation to discern its features. It's not a painting in the conventional sense, lacking brushstrokes or pigments, which adds to its enigmatic quality. The atmosphere is one of profound reverence and quiet mystery, underscoring the incredible age and controversial nature of this artifact. The air is still, almost hushed, as if the very presence of the cloth commands solemn contemplation, challenging observers to reconcile its ancient linen threads with the extraordinary claim it represents. This scene delves into the heart of the mystery, the faint yet remarkably detailed image of the crucified man himself. The camera virtually traces the contours of the body, revealing the full extent of the suffering depicted. We see the somber face, framed by long hair and a beard, with closed eyes, conveying a serene yet profound agony. The figure is nude, arms crossed over the pelvis, suggesting a post-mortem state. Most strikingly, the shroud bears marks consistent with a Roman crucifixion. Nail wounds through the wrists, not the palms as often depicted in art, and feet, a distinct spear wound in the side, and numerous lash marks across the back and legs consistent with flagellation. Furthermore, thorn-like punctures around the head are visible, aligning with the narrative of a crown of thorns. The blood flow patterns appear medically accurate, and the rigor mortis suggested by the body's posture adds another layer of forensic detail. This scene emphasizes the extraordinary, almost photographic precision of these details, which challenge simple artistic explanation and compel both believers and skeptics to examine the image with unwavering intensity. Before its documented appearance in Lirey, France in the 14th century, the history of the shroud is shrouded in legend and conjecture. This scene transports us back to antiquity, exploring the compelling theory that the Shroud of Turin is, in fact, the legendary image of Edessa, also known as the Mandylion. This sacred cloth, bearing only the face of Jesus, was venerated in the city of Edessa, modern-day Şanlıurfa, Turkey, for centuries, purportedly healing the sick and protecting the city. Historical accounts describe its journey to Constantinople in the 10th century, where it became one of Byzantium's most treasured relics. We delve into descriptions of the Mandylion, noting how some ancient texts hint at it being a folded cloth, showing only the face, a detail that could align with the shroud's full-body image if it were stored folded. The narrative recounts its disappearance during the brutal sack of Constantinople by Crusaders in 1204, a pivotal moment in the theory. This scene relies on ancient texts, fragmented historical records, and vivid storytelling to bridge the significant historical gap, presenting the Mandylion theory not as proven fact, but as a tantalizing possibility that adds layers to the shroud's mysterious provenance. The mists of legend begin to clear with the shroud's first undeniable historical appearance in Lirey, France, around 1357. This scene transports us to a small, bustling medieval town where a new collegiate church built by the Crusader knight Geoffroy de Charny proudly displays a linen cloth bearing the image of Christ. We witness the excitement and curiosity of the local populace flocking to see this miraculous relic. However, this period is also marked by immediate controversy. Bishop Henri de Poitiers, the local ordinary, quickly condemned the cloth as a forgery, claiming an artist had confessed to painting it. This dramatic confrontation between fervent belief and ecclesiastical skepticism forms the core of the scene. The narrative explores the initial display, the reasons for its popularity, and the church's swift, albeit contested, response. We highlight the initial public fascination and the seeds of doubt sown by the bishop, setting the stage for centuries of debate. The atmosphere is a mixture of medieval piety, local festivity, and budding ecclesiastical tension. Following the controversies in Lirey, the shroud's custodianship shifted dramatically. This scene chronicles its transfer from the de Charny family to the powerful House of Savoy, a royal dynasty that would become one of the oldest in Europe. We trace its journey from the modest collegiate church in Lirey to the grand ducal chapels and eventually to Turin, the capital of the Duchy of Savoy. The narrative highlights the significance of this transfer, elevating the shroud from a local relic to a dynastic treasure, imbued with political and spiritual importance for a reigning house. We explore the motivations behind this acquisition, perhaps to legitimize their rule, consolidate power, or simply out of genuine devotion. The scene captures the solemnity of the relic's transportation, moving through various ducal residences and castles, each a temporary resting place until its final, permanent home in Turin. It emphasizes the shroud's transformation into a symbol of a powerful European family, marking a crucial chapter in its long and complex history. The year is 1898. The world is on the cusp of a new century, and the nascent art of photography is revolutionizing how we see and understand the world. This scene focuses on the pivotal moment when Secondo Pia, an amateur photographer and lawyer, was granted permission to photograph the Shroud of Turin for the first time. We recreate the hushed, almost clinical atmosphere inside Turin Cathedral as Pia meticulously sets up his bulky, large-format camera and heavy glass plates. The narrative builds tension around the exposure process in the dimly lit chapel. The dramatic reveal occurs in his darkroom. As Pia develops the photographic plates, he discovers to his astonishment that the faint sepia image on the shroud is in fact a negative. The photographic negative reveals a strikingly clear, positive image of a crucified man, unlike anything seen before. This discovery sent shockwaves across the globe, transforming the shroud from a medieval curiosity into a scientific enigma, challenging centuries of assumptions and propelling it into the modern era of scientific scrutiny. This moment marks a watershed in the shroud's history, irrevocably changing its perception. Following Secondo Pia's sensational discovery, the Shroud of Turin transitioned from a medieval relic to a subject of intense scientific scrutiny. This scene chronicles the early 20th century as scientists, physicians, and forensic experts began to examine the photographic evidence and, occasionally, the shroud itself, or detailed replicas. We explore the initial attempts to understand the image. Was it a painting, a unique chemical reaction, or something entirely unknown? Early medical analyses focused on the anatomical accuracy of the wounds and the figure's posture, finding consistency with a real crucifixion. Forensic studies began to consider the blood stains, their color and patterns. This period saw the emergence of various theories regarding image formation, many of them speculative, but pushing the boundaries of scientific inquiry. The scene highlights the clash between traditional religious belief and the emerging scientific method, with each discovery, however small, deepening the mystery and polarizing opinions. The atmosphere is one of intellectual curiosity, pioneering scientific endeavor, and the dawning realization of the shroud's profound complexity. The 1978 Shroud of Turin research project, STURP, represents the most exhaustive scientific investigation ever conducted on the artifact. This scene immerses us in the unprecedented effort. For 5 intense days, a team of over 40 scientists, including chemists, physicists, medical examiners, and computer imaging specialists, were granted direct access to the shroud. We see a meticulously recreated laboratory environment within Turin Cathedral, bustling with activity. The narrative emphasizes the cutting-edge technology of the era: X-ray fluorescence, thermography, infrared reflectography, UV photography, microdensitometry, and sticky tape samples. The scene highlights the dedication and collaboration of these diverse specialists, all united by a common goal: to definitively determine the nature of the shroud and its image. The air is thick with anticipation and the hum of sophisticated machinery. The findings were groundbreaking, suggesting the image was not a painting and exhibiting properties like three-dimensionality that defied known scientific explanation at the time. Leading to the famous conclusion, the image is that of a real human form of a scourged, crucified man. It is not the product of an artist. This moment epitomizes the high point of scientific inquiry into the shroud before the carbon-14 dating.
The year is 1988, and the scientific world delivers a bombshell that shakes the shroud community to its core: carbon-14 dating. This scene unfolds with dramatic tension, focusing on the highly anticipated results of the radiocarbon dating tests. We are in the sterile environment of the laboratories: Oxford, Zurich, and Arizona, each working independently on minuscule samples taken from the shroud. The narrative builds anticipation around the meticulous methodology, the scientific rigor, and the world holding its breath. The moment of revelation is stark. All 3 labs return to consistent date range, placing the origin of the linen between 1260 and 1390 AD. Squarely in the medieval period, precisely when it first appeared in Lirey. This finding, published in Nature magazine, was presented as definitive proof of a medieval forgery, effectively ending the debate for many scientists and causing immense disillusionment among believers. The scene captures the intellectual shockwaves, the immediate implications for the shroud's authenticity, and the intense controversy that erupted, forever altering the trajectory of the shroud's narrative. Despite the emphatic conclusions of the carbon-14 dating, the debate surrounding the shroud's authenticity remains fiercely alive. This scene delves into the counter-arguments and challenges raised against the 1988 C14 results. We explore the repair and contamination theory, suggesting that the tested sample taken from an edge might have been from a medieval reweave or repair section, tainted by later additions, carbon or microbial contamination, thus yielding an artificially younger date. The narrative introduces the concept of biofilm and vanilla, proposing that bacteria and fungi accumulating over centuries could have added younger carbon, skewing the results. We also touch upon other scientific objections to the C14 methodology or sample selection. The scene highlights the ongoing efforts by various researchers to reevaluate the dating, or to propose alternative explanations for the medieval date, without necessarily negating the shroud's ancient origin. The atmosphere is one of persistent scientific inquiry, intellectual resilience, and the relentless pursuit of alternative explanations, showcasing that, for many, the C14 results are far from the final word. With the carbon-14 dating placing the shroud firmly in the medieval period, the theory of forgery gained significant ground. This scene explores the forgery hypothesis in detail, presenting how a medieval artist could have created such an enigmatic image. We delve into the artistic techniques available in the 13th and 14th centuries, such as rubbing techniques, bas-reliefs, or the use of primitive photographic methods, though this is highly speculative. The narrative examines the potential motivations for creating such a forgery: financial gain, pious fraud to inspire devotion, or even an elaborate artistic experiment. We discuss the skills required: a deep understanding of human anatomy, especially crucifixion wounds, knowledge of pigments, even if not directly applied, and an ability to create an image that appears to lack brushstrokes. The scene acknowledges the challenges of replicating the shroud's unique properties, but it presents compelling arguments for human artistry, emphasizing the ingenuity and devotion or deception of medieval craftsmen. The atmosphere is one of intellectual challenge and historical detective work, aiming to demystify the image.
Beyond the dating controversies, the shroud presents a wealth of forensic and medical evidence that continues to fascinate and perplex. This scene focuses on the detailed medical and forensic analyses of the human figure's image and the purported bloodstains. Experts, including pathologists, forensic anthropologists, and blood spatter analysts, have meticulously examined the photographic negatives. The narrative delves into findings such as the medically accurate placement of nail wounds through the wrists, not palms, consistent with Roman crucifixion practices. The spear wound between the 5th and 6th ribs, showing post-mortem blood and serum separation, and the patterns of scourging marks, consistent with Roman flagella. We examine how the blood flow patterns appear consistent with gravity and the specific position of a crucified body. This scene highlights the remarkable, almost uncanny, anatomical and pathological precision of these details, which challenge any simple artistic explanation and suggest a real human body endured horrific trauma. This compelling evidence is often cited by those who argue for the shroud's authenticity, positioning it as a unique historical and forensic document. Perhaps the most baffling aspect of the Shroud of Turin is the nature of the image itself. If it's not a painting, and if it truly defies medieval forgery, how did it form? This scene explores the myriad of scientific and pseudoscientific theories proposed for the image formation. We delve into concepts like the radiation hypothesis, suggesting a burst of intense energy, perhaps from a resurrection event, could have scorched or discolored the linen fibers. Other theories include a corona discharge or electric discharge from a body, a chemical vaporograph effect from decomposition gases, or even a primitive photographic process involving a bas relief and light-sensitive chemicals. The narrative highlights the challenges posed by the image's unique properties, its superficiality, only affecting the top few microfibers, its lack of directionality, and its inherent three-dimensionality, as revealed by VP8 Image Analyzer. This scene showcases the scientific community's struggle to find a reproducible explanation for an image that seems to defy all known natural laws, reinforcing its enigmatic status and fueling both scientific and spiritual debate. Centuries of debate, scientific breakthroughs, and spiritual conviction converge in the present day, leaving the mystery of the Shroud of Turin as potent as ever.
This scene encapsulates the ongoing intellectual and spiritual battleground. Despite the carbon-14 dating, a significant portion of the scientific and religious community continues to challenge its definitive nature, citing contamination theories and other scientific objections. Simultaneously, millions of believers worldwide remain steadfast in their conviction that the shroud is the authentic burial cloth of Jesus Christ, a tangible link to a divine event. We observe the contrasting perspectives, the rigorous skepticism of scientists demanding empirical proof versus the unwavering faith of those who see beyond the empirical. The scene highlights scholarly conferences, online forums, and public exhibitions where these debates continue fiercely. It emphasizes the cultural impact of the shroud, its power to inspire devotion, and its enduring capacity to generate controversy, cementing its place as one of the world's most debated and revered relics, defying any easy resolution and continuing to challenge both science and faith.
The journey through the Shroud of Turin's history and controversies culminates here, leaving us with an enduring enigma. This final scene serves as a powerful summary, reinforcing the shroud's status as a unique artifact that continues to defy definitive explanation. We reflect on the profound dualities it embodies, the meticulously researched scientific data versus the unwavering tenets of faith, the medieval dating versus the anatomically perfect image of a crucified man, the simple linen cloth versus the profound spiritual symbol. The narrative revisits the key milestones and debates, emphasizing that despite centuries of scrutiny, the shroud stubbornly refuses to yield a universally accepted explanation for its origin or image formation. It stands as a powerful testament to the enduring human capacity for belief, skepticism, and the relentless pursuit of truth. The scene concludes with the understanding that the Shroud of Turin is more than just a piece of cloth. It is a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest questions about life, death, and the divine, destined to remain one of the world's most captivating and unresolved mysteries for generations to come, a silent witness to history, faith, and science.